A day after the Ministry of External Affairs condemned an attack on an Indian journalist in Washington, D.C. And you'll remember the Ministry of External Affairs continues to chime against attacks that have taken place on the Indian High Commission. You'll remember in London where you had separatists, a group of separatists rather, last weekend tried to bring down the Indian tricolour in the Indian High Commission. And incidents like that have continued to take place through the last week. Now, I believe a fresh group was protesting outside Indian consulates in Vancouver and Toronto. So two slices of action taking place in Canada. Remember, a large amount of support has shown up for Amritpal Singh. Amritpal Singh, remember, is a Waris Punjab Day chief who, you'll remember, the Punjab state was trying to track down through last week. As that action against him continued in Punjab, supporters of his continued to show up in different countries abroad. We've tracked action like this taking place in Canada, in the United States, in Australia and in the UK. Now, this most latest incident comes in from Canada. My colleague Siddhant with us on the phone to bring us more details. Siddhant, over to you.
Well, yes, that's right. So now reports are telling us that fresh rallies were organized outside Indian foreign offices in Vancouver and Toronto. And in fact, the videos that we are playing on our screen are of the same protest which took place outside these two foreign offices. Now, despite flagging off the issue of the cancellation of a dinner reception which was hosted in honor of Indian High Commissioner to Canada, that dinner was cancelled because of the protest by the Khalistani groups, and in fact several Indians were also injured and journalists were also assaulted. And Indian government did take up that issue with Canada in a very strong manner. But despite that, such protests are not ready to stop. And in fact, yesterday, outside Indian Foreign Office in Vancouver and Toronto, the consulate offices, these protests have taken place. Now, what is going to be the reaction of Indian government is something which we are eagerly waiting for. But time and again, Indian government has raised these issues in a very strong manner. In fact, only 2 days back, the High Commissioner of Canada was summoned here in New Delhi, and he was told that action needs to be taken on all those who were involved in beating up Indians outside the reception venue in Surrey, which falls under British Columbia. And look, after a few days only, these two protests have again taken place. But, Canada, the same has been conveyed to England, the same has been conveyed to Australia, US. But Canada is one of the most fertile soil for Khalistani voices. And in fact, the political discourse, the political parties are also in a way supporting or maybe fueling these protesters. And this is perhaps the reason that where other countries have started acting on these groups after pressure from the Indian government, Canada is one country which has still not taken the incident which happened in British Columbia seriously. And because there is no action from the part of authorities, from the police in Canada, these groups are still roaming freely, fearlessly, without any fear of the law enforcement authorities.
Okay.
And each and every day block the route of the Indian foreign offices or perhaps protest outside them.
Siddhant, thank you for bringing us those details. All right, we're going to head into a very short break. This is the Breaking News Show, which means that in just a few minutes,